Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, who today are playing Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton, so called because it is never bright there, because it is always raining. And indeed, it is raining today in England. Who would have guessed it? Today, we are in the championship, and we've got John Green and John Green starting for the first time together in almost 2 months. Their son, JJ, now 4 months old. Things are going well for the John Greens. The recovery from the broken metatarsal seems to have been completed by now. And, you know, there's nothing I like better than footballers wearing wet shirts. So I'm looking forward to today's episode. Today I'm going to talk about the worst movies I've ever seen, personally. I'm sure there are worse movies out there, but these are the worst that I've seen. I don't know how many I'm going to get through. I've seen a lot of bad movies over the year. We've got a ginger referee. That bodes well for us. By the way, that ginger had the phenomenal game. Last time we played, we're in fourth, 1 point ahead of Blackburn Rovers and some 8 points behind Watford. That Ginger, I put him on the bench because I was so pleased with his performance. Even though he's only a 56 skill level and he got injured at the end, I was still very impressed. They've got a player named Dunk. That doesn't feel fair. I want a player named Dunk. But yeah, he was just so gingery, and he played with the courage of a ginger and the fragility of a ginger. Meredith, would you agree with these assessments? I know that you have a bit of an anti-ginger bias. We're starting Amankwa in goal. He's usually inexplicably pantsed, but today he's wearing pants because it's raining, and he's afraid of the rain. Maybe Amankwa is allergic to grass? Hold on, let's pass the ball back to him. I want to check something. You know what, Meredith? He does wear a long-sleeve shirt, doesn't he? He's allergic to grass, and yet he became a professional footballer. What a strange and beautiful thing Amankwa is. Anyway, the worst movie I ever saw is called The Road to Wellville. Meredith, you seen this one? John Cusack. Awful. Seen a couple. I'm a big John Cusack fan. Say Anything, one of my all-time favorite movies. Must Love Dogs, Total Winner. I think that actually stars Joan Cusack, but common mistake. Anyway, Better Off Dead. Many great American films. An important actor. Plus a Chicago guy. I lived in Chicago for many years. Have great affection for Chicago. Think very highly of John Cusack. This is nothing against him. The Road to Wellville, one of the worst movies imaginable. It's about 17 hours long, and it's about. It discusses the topic of early 20th century miracle cures. I don't know if it's a drama or a comedy. I know and the invention of cornflakes is involved in the narrative as well. Again, I do not know if the movie is intended to be funny. It is not. But it is also not successfully dramatic. So whatever it was trying to do, it did not do well. And I don't like it. It's the only movie I've ever walked out of with 5 minutes to go, except for the Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz film Night and Day, K-N-I-G-H-T, lest you think that the subject was the setting of the sun. I walked out of that one with 5 minutes to go, not because it wasn't enjoyable, it was great, but because I'd gotten a phone call, and I needed to take it, and plus, you know, I knew how it was going to end, it being a Tom Cruise movie. Standard, well, you know what I'm saying, Meredith, when I say the standard Tom Cruise 6.5? I love the standard Tom Cruise 6.5. There is no... Oh, Amankwa! Amankwa, allergic to grass and allergic to goals. How's that? Is that good? Should I keep working? I'm getting there. You must suffer. Oh God. Yeah, that's Road to Wellville. I love the standard Tom Cruise 6.5. The Road to Wellville, worst movie I've ever seen in person. I saw The Room. That was very bad. That's like a famously bad movie. But it is, I can confirm that it is actually bad. It's not just something that they say. It's crap. It's not, I don't find it as laughably bad. I don't enjoy bad movies the way some other people do. I had a roommate in college who was a big bad movie fan, and he was always talking about the difference between so bad it's good and so bad that it's just bad. And I think that bad is bad. I'm not able to enjoy things ironically very often. Yeah, so I don't, and I also don't have any like guilty pleasures on that front because I'm completely enthusiastic about my pleasures. We have our office manager here, Zulea, as you know, Meredith, is a huge One Direction fan. Did you know that? She is. Massive, particularly a massive Harry Styles fan. And one of the things I admire most about her is the extent to which it is a totally unironic enthusiasm. She genuinely likes Harry Styles a great deal. Look at the rain coming down. I'm concerned about these players' safety. We should end this game now. What are some other terrible movies I've seen? I've seen a lot over the years. I don't like to call people out individually. I'll say this: I did not enjoy. I did not enjoy AI, the movie with Steven Spielberg that directed. That was based on the Stanley Kubrick script. It should have been such a great movie, and I didn't like it. Did you like that, Meredith? You never saw it. What's the worst movie you ever saw, Meredith? See, that's a difficult. The Tourist with Johnny Depp. That was very bad. That was very bad. How? I mean, and I do wonder sometimes how those movies get made. But I have to say, like, having been on a movie set once in my life now, I can kind of see how you don't know. I was obsessed with whether The Fault in Our Stars was going to be a good movie, so I was always asking everybody if they could tell, like when they were. Oh, get there! John Green, for the love of God, dive with your beautiful bald head. There was ever an occasion for a dive. That was not a ball to be footed. That was a ball to be headed. Context is everything. Get there, Ball John Green, with your head this time. Oh, for the love of God. For the love of everything holy, Ball John Green. You've got to get that in the net, and then you've got to get the follow-up in the net, and then you, sir, you had an eternity. He could have calmed, you know what should have happened there, and this was my mistake, is I should have paused, let it go to the preferred foot, and then scored. Yeah, I did not enjoy The Tourist with Johnny Depp, and I like Johnny Depp so much. But yeah, anyway, I was talking about this with lots of people on the movie crew, and they all told me that they can't tell when they're making a movie if it's going to be good or bad. You know, that so much happens in post-production, it's just too soon to say. Although they were all kind enough to say that they thought The Fault in the Stars movie was going to be good, but they're probably just telling me that. So yeah, I do think that you never. How did this not go in? That I know because you didn't head the ball. How did this not go in? Boom, yes, there with the rebound, and then there. Oh, just a little bit behind the ball. Could you have taken it? I wonder if I could have taken it and gotten a touch, or if I had to go one time. Anyway, gosh, other one-star movies I've seen. You know what I didn't like that everybody liked? Tree of Life. Thought it was not good. I thought it was very pretentious and not like intellectually rewarding. I feel that way about a lot of movies that I'm supposed to like. Like I'm fine with liking I'm fine with a movie that's pretentious and intellectually rewarding, but I'm really not fine with a movie that's that you know doesn't feel the need to entertain its audience and also doesn't feel the need to like challenge its audience with ideas. Or like that with ideas that I ultimately don't feel like are very sophisticated or interesting, or, you know, or at least like new. That's not the best thing that you could have done with that ball. I would have made some different choices, but you know, I'm me, you're you, Ball John Green. We both got our strengths and our weaknesses. You know, I'm really bad at button mashing. You're pretty bad at making choices when it comes to passing to your husband. You know, we're both learning. Still have so much to learn. That was a dive. He didn't fall over, but it was still a dive. I can't, what are other really bad movies? Did you ever see that movie Ishtar? Terrible. Nothing will ever be as bad for me as The Road to Wellville. I saw it at the Dollar Movie Theater too, where I could enjoy almost anything. I once saw Wolf, the Jack Nicholson vampire werewolf movie. Did you ever see that one, Meredith? Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. Jack Nicholson is a werewolf who must chain himself to the radiator in his apartment in New York, but even that doesn't stop him from werewolfing. And it's not a good film. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say it's in the top 10 American movies. It's not up there with Die Hard 4 or anything. Yeah, so not a good movie. But I saw it on 11 consecutive Wednesdays because it was the movie that was in the Dollar Theater. on 11 consecutive Wednesdays when I was in 11th grade, and I liked going to the Dollar Theater with my friend Shri Reddy. So, yeah, Shri and I went and saw Wolf over and over and over again, and even though I eventually learned all of the dialogue, I still didn't hate that movie nearly as much as I hated The Road to Wellville. That reminded me, though, of a terrible movie that I'd seen thinking about the Dollar Movie Theater back in the 1990s. I am not a big fan. I like Kevin Smith a lot, but when he makes a bad movie, I think it's a very bad movie. And that movie that he made with Jennifer Aniston or Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez was extremely bad. It just extremely, extremely bad. Did you see that one? Jiggly, Giggly? I can't remember what it's called. It was awful. Boy, I'll tell you what, after that 1-0 thriller, we sure have had some bad football for Wimbly Wombly supporters to watch the last 2 games. I apologize, but at least we're in the FA Cup final. I'm going to try to do something by bringing on my favorite team, Dicko, and the Golden Child, and Frankenstein. Really going to try to liven things up. Is it the left side or the right side that needs more help? It's the left side. And then we bring on Sermon. That's an interesting idea. I like the way that you're thinking, but I think I want to bring on Mose. Why is Mose Vestergaard so tired? Oh, it's because I just took him off. I am going to bring on Sermon after careful consideration. Do I have another one to bring on, Dini? No. All right. Well, there you go. The other John Green, I have a message for you. It is simple. You must suffer. All right, let's not give up a goal. That would be annoying and stupid. That's good. That's good. You're not good at running, so that's frustrating. That was bad because you passed to the wrong guy. Yeah. And then, oh, God. You know what else is terrible? Truly terrible? The Godfather Part 3. It's such an insult. It's the same way I felt about Die Hard 5, which was produced by one of the producers of The Fault in Our Stars, good friend of mine, Wick Godfrey, so I don't want to say anything too bad about it. But Die Hard to me, like, have you seen The Godfather? Yeah, it's one of the great movie, right? I mean, you're not crazy about it. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a little long, but it's really good. It's a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. The Godfather Part 2, a 10 out of 10. The Godfather Part 3, a 1 out of 10. Same thing with the Die Hard movies. Die Hard 1, 10 out of 10. Die Hard 4, 10 out of 10. Die Hard 5, not a good movie, and it's disappointing because it's an important series. It's this is a brand that must be held sacred the same way as The Godfather must be held sacred. I mean, Die Hard, it's a defining thing about people's lives. And it was disappointing to see it treated so poorly, I have to say. I don't think it was Wick's fault, but you got to be honest about this stuff. And it wasn't good. You know what is good? That K. St. Louis getting the ball in the 88th minute, cutting back the way that he likes to. Ball into John Green. John Green, get there with your courage. Oh, I wanted to see a little more courage out of John Green. Oh, and there was the Ginger. He had an opportunity. It's a nice steal from the Ginger. I like that, again, playing with courage, not a lot of skill. Ginger, get to the ball. Get to the ball, Ginger. Oh, no. Are we going to give up a goal in the 90th minute as we sometimes like to? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm overrunning the ball. I'm nervous. I'm not. There we go. That's how you defend. No! Oh! As is usually the case, I only need. Yes, it is frustrating. Oh, H. Walter White, I share your. Oh. It's 2 straight games without a goal. We got that. Why am I? I am thanking the Wimbly Wombly supporters. I do thank you. Callum Kennedy thanks you. But at the same time, I feel very frustrated. I don't really want to see a lot of hugging. And Golden Child, what are you happy about? Just a second ago, H. Walter White was like, oh, and that was the correct response. Dicko's like, let's not get too into it. Amanko, he wears short sleeves. That puts a hole in my Oh, that's great to see John Green and John Green hug. Did something just happen? Did we just qualify for something? Oh, that was Sermon, not John Green. That was great. Sermon was grateful for the chance that I gave him, and I appreciate that. That's nice to see. He didn't really do much with it, but that was a nice ending there, actually, I thought. Another 0-0 draw. Talked about some bad movies. Anyway, we'll do better next time. We got the playoffs coming up and the FA Cup final. There's a lot to look forward to this season. Best wishes.